Hey everybody, I am a few minutes late. I'm sorry about that, but I'm here now and I'm really excited that I'm sticking with this and doing these energy updates because I need it too, and it's just been kind of crazy lately for me personally, and I'm learning a lot of things, and I'm really excited to be sharing this in a more personal way, in a more intimate way, because I found that that is really, really essential in just growing yourself, and to be able to be really transparent and to be really honest and to be just forthright with yourself and just speaking your truth and owning what is your current experience is so important. And so I'm just kind of reinforcing that this week, and also hopefully I can be a cheerleader for you from afar, because I know that the energies have been really intense and it's been hard to stay grounded, and everyone is having their own stuff coming up in their personal lives. So what's really important is that you just do the things that are nurturing for you and doing things that are loving and compassionate to you. I noticed the other day that I kind of allowed myself to get off of that track, and that happens, and that is part of life too. But what I found is when you're able to at least monitor that, when you at least monitor those moments where you go into fear, or you go into doubt, or you go into victimhood, or you go into smallness, at least you have some awareness when you're doing it. And sometimes, like for the case of myself the other day, I had to just go, okay, I'm just gonna experience this, put on this suit just for a little bit. I'm not gonna live here. I'm not intending to live here, but I need to experience this just for a little bit. And I did, and it allowed some release, it allowed some clarity, and then I had this intention that, okay, I'm gonna wake up and I'm going to reset. I'm going to be reset, my energy is going to be clear, and I'm going to have an intention of moving forward with whatever that negative emotion is, or whatever that belief system is that no longer serves you. So I want to do a reading today because I think it's the right time. I certainly have been needing it, as I said, and I know that, as always, the things that I'm experiencing are a version or a mirroring of the collective energy and what we're all feeling. And I've noticed a lot of people posting about anxiety and fear and self-doubt and all of these things. And so not only just hearing these words from Spirit is helpful, but what I've understood is that this type of communication really is an energetic communication more than it is just hearing words and processing the words with your mind. It changes your body's chemistry. It changes those patterns within you that seem immovable at times, that seem really solid at times. And for myself, I really want to reconstruct that. I want to understand, or maybe not even understand what is discombobulated, but to be able to tune into this space where you are hooking up with the higher part of you and allowing healing to take place. And it does. It takes place automatically. It takes place on a level that your mind cannot comprehend. So when we do readings like this, whether I'm doing this over live stream or whether you're just in a meditation with yourself in your room, it's the same experience happening. And when you allow the universal support to help you, then miracles can happen, but you can't do it alone, and you can't do it without some level of surrendering and honoring that there's a piece of you that lies beyond your mind. There's a piece of you that lies beyond your intellect and your knowledge as a human being. So as I do this reading, it's going to be, well, as always, I will say that it's an experience that is between you and you. It's an experience that's personal for you, and just allow that healing to take place, because, you know, I can't tell you how it happens. I can't explain to you really how it happens. Basically, what I do is I close my eyes and I have an intention, and I'll share with you what I say in my mind as my intention, as my sort of, what would you call it? Just what I do. Beginning my meditations, I will say, I am in the universe is in my body, the universe and I combine together. And then I just invite the highest of light, the highest expression, to come through, and for it to really reach all of you, for it to, for the higher part of you, your soul, to speak to you in a way that is individual to you. In that intention, that is where healing happens. That's where miracles happens. That's where I understand it's so beyond me, it's so beyond you. It's the power of intention is so powerful. And as we talked about last week, with putting our energy in the right direction, really being more solid upon what we want in our life. What do we want? Do we want to feel more connected? Okay, then how do we do that? What are you going to do on a daily basis to feel better, to feel more in alignment with yourself, to feel more empowered within yourself? What are those steps you're going to take? And maybe it's just being on these live streams, because even though I'm talking and you're seemingly on the other end somewhere around the world, we're having a energetic communication, and it's two ways. So don't believe for an instance that if you watch this later that it's not going to be relevant anymore, or that, you know, somehow we are not connected, because we are. And so as I'm talking right now, you can just have an intention. Maybe something just came up in your mind, an intention of something that you want to resolve or work on or feel more connected to, or heal in some way. So you don't have to figure out how it's going to happen or how it's going to heal. All you have to do is be open to receiving and being open to support in a higher way, in a deeper way. And the way that I learned how to do that is simply by, you know, feeling the love of the universe is very humbling. It makes you realize the amazing power that is beyond this little body. And you've heard this phrase, let go and let God. But truly, that's what I did, and that's what I learned to do. And when you do that, and I do that every single time I sit down and meditate. I am in the universe is in my body, the universe and I combine together. You let go, and you take a deep breath. So maybe we'll just start this right now. So you can just focus on your lower dantian, which is the point deep in behind your belly button, and just focus on a golden sun there, deep in your lower dantian. And so now you probably already have an intention within you, something that you want to heal or get clarity on or get peace with. So just allow that to be there, and you can just focus that intention in that golden sun in your lower dantian. And just notice any feelings or sensations that your body might be giving you. Notice any emotions that might be coming up, any thoughts. You don't need to push these away or even define them or understand them or think about them. Just notice them coming through. And then as you find your mind wandering, which it will during this meditation, just every time you notice it wandering, you can just bring your attention back to the lower dantian and just focus on that golden sun shining there. You can just notice what you notice. That's the biggest piece as we go through this reading. Just notice what you notice and allow what needs to come up, whether it might be emotions or anything. Just don't hold back, because that's where the healing happens. And just allow yourself to surrender, and whatever might be happening in your mind, whatever you might want to control, just let it go. And notice when you let go and truly sink into your body, there's a release that happens where you could just allow what is in this moment. And then you can just slowly bring that golden sun in your lower dantian up to your heart space. And see this golden sun shining even brighter in your heart space. And if your eyes aren't closed yet, you can just softly close your eyes and visualize that golden sun in your heart space. You can just focus there, and we'll begin the reading in a moment. So as we switch over to this reading, you can just allow yourself to just receive and allow yourself to just experience in the body what the body wants to experience. And just remember again that there's nothing you have to do, there's nothing you need to accomplish, just receive. Dear ones, there is such a great love for you, and we want you to experience in a deeper way this love that we have for you, because in this time, in this space, in this equilibrium of times, shall we say, there is an energy that is pertinent. There is an energy that is expanding and contracting as you are expanding and contracting. And you are learning your limitations, you are learning your expansiveness in a new way. So there's this polarity, there's this contrast happening. And we want for you to experience in this way the beauty of you that is expanding and contracting, and to not see it as something that is negative, because it feels as if you cannot even keep up with yourself anymore. There is so much that is unreliable, there is so much that is constantly changing and shifting, and that creates some distance with yourself, that creates some discomfort within yourself, because so much less is understandable by you from your mind space. And what we want to tell you about this is that it is more and more important for you to be able to let go and to experience the experience without needing to define the experience. So these experiences which your emotions, your mind, usually catch on to the first, it becomes a ripple effect, it becomes a domino effect within you, and you're reacting to your reaction, to your reaction, to your reaction, when you are overthinking and overanalyzing each part of your experience. And so there's a lot of shifting and changing happening within you, and without you as well, externally as well, because you are all connected and we are all connected as one. And so as the energy is changing more rapidly and there is more fluctuation within your personal lives, shall we say, if we want to talk about you separated from all that is, even though that does not truly exist, there is more happening in your personal lives. And you will see it in relationships, in all relationships with those around you, that there is less of a willingness to blend in, there is less of a willingness to become unified with something that does not feel in alignment with you. It does not feel congruent with you. And it's important to be able to understand your emotional guidance system and how this provides for you an opportunity to tap into your inner wisdom. And so many of you are feeling this resistance, and yet you are still operating from the mind standpoint, in which you are not allowing yourself to take these steps forward to live from a place of authenticity, of living from your inner guidance system. And so it becomes difficult to live with this turbulence that is happening within you when you cannot understand why things are happening outside of you. And it is humorous because it is all connected. It is humorous because you are in control, that you are creating this experience of disconnect. And it can be mirrored to you in many ways, in many forms, but you will find that it is most obvious with those closest to you, for they will show you what you are creating within yourself. They will mirror that back to you. And that usually is very uncomfortable for you because it is not what you want to see or hear or experience. But it is a mirror of you. So it's important in this time for you to be able to see how you are mirrored back through others and through the experiences around you. And this all comes with the practice of mindfulness, of being mindful of how you are connected to all that is. And so a good example of that can be the very small details. It can be, you are seeing a book on the bookshelf that is a title that means something to you, or it is a message to you, the title, or you experience intuitively different sceneries or different emotions or different sounds. For instance, many of you are experiencing hearing water, flowing water, or hearing different sounds. And much of the time, these are nature sounds. And because nature is so closely related energetically to human beings, it is very easy for you to understand these messages through nature, through the animals, through the birds, through the trees. And so very, very often intuitively you will understand these signs and symbols through the nature around you. And that is why we said in the beginning to spend more time in nature, because that is a stepping stone, a building block in understanding your inner guidance system and how you are connected to all that is. So just noticing in this moment your body and how it is reacting to you, noticing the colors it is producing. And yes, there are colors within you. Colors which you can identify with emotions, you can identify intuitively just by asking your body to show itself and show you what it needs or what it is wanting to communicate with you. And a lot of times that is through feeling. That could be a physical feeling, or it could be intuitive feeling. It can be a color, it can be a shape, it can be an image or a memory of sorts. Because memories are also stored within your body, within what you might call the Akashic records, which not only lies outside of you within the earth grid, but also within your own system, within your own physical structure. And it's not necessary to understand all of this at the detailed explanation, but it is important to understand that that is within you. So all of these things that you are asking to move into in a deeper way, to be able to expand into, so that you can take up more space, so that you can be your bigger self, your brighter self, your more intuitive, in alignment self. You need to utilize these tools which are innate within you, because you have been around longer than you believe yourself to be. But you also have this understanding that it is of the past or of the future. And what we have to remind you of is that everything is happening on a linear timeline. It is in your perception. In your perception, it is happening on a linear timeline. But in reality, it is all happening in the present moment. So all of these aspects of you that you are wishing to incorporate into your experience right now is already within your toolbox, your pre-existing toolbox. So the question would be, how do I utilize these tools? First of all, understanding that they are there, which now you have understood. Then the next step is being willing to look within yourself, being willing to take the blinders off of yourself. And that is the biggest step in all of this, in this time, also in this week, is being willing to take your blinders off of yourself. And so how can you do this? Simply by asking for guidance, asking for assistance, and then letting go. That's all that's necessary. And how can you truly let go? It is similar to unpeeling an onion, for there are many layers, and or an artichoke, there's many layers until you get to the heart, until you get to the very center or the core, where only truth prevails. So the way that you can get there is simply by having the intention of continuing to want to learn more, want to experience more of yourself in a clear way, and asking for this to be presented to you, and asking for guidance on how you can get further and further to the core of who you are. And once that intention is there, then you are already on your way. You are already in movement, in progress, in expansion. And there will be moments where you will doubt yourself. There will be moments of fear and confusion. There will be moments of distance from yourself, and that is part of it too. But when your intention is always to come back to yourself, there is movement there. There is expansion there. And that is another layer of the onion, or of the self, which is multidimensional and ever expanding and ever contracting. And it is an ebb and flow of life, an ebb and flow of the human being and the experience on this earthly plane. So if you can move into that space of gratitude for where you are at this moment, then you will find that there is peace that comes with that. There is a letting go that comes with that, even though you may not have found out how to move out of this uncomfortable place, or how to get more clarity, or how to feel more peace, or you don't have to figure it out. All you have to do is be in alignment with wanting to get there, be in alignment with wanting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe you do not feel like you are in a dark place, so to speak, but maybe you are simply just wanting to grow and expand and understand deeper, and that is beautiful too. So the more that you can just get out of resistance of where you are, and you can do that in a lot of ways. As you might have heard about, just the emotional scale, and getting further and further to that place of being in alignment with your truest desire. You can do that by making up any excuse, anything to get you to a place of feeling better in this moment. So if your end result is that you want to do something that really scares you, really makes you feel agitated, you cannot simply understand how to get there if you are so far from there. So how you can move in that direction is by doing something that suggests movement in that direction, but that is not threatening to you. So getting up on the emotional scale would be maybe listening to your favorite song and getting into the flow of that, and noticing how your body changes, noticing how your emotions change, notice how your outlook changes and how you start to feel more in your body, and that is a beautiful step in the right direction. And then you can continue throughout your day of being mindful of how you are either going forward and feeling more and more in alignment, or when you move out of alignment, when you start to feel yourself distancing yourself from yourself. And it is all self-created. It is all self-created. And so the more you are at least understanding of how you are doing this, the more that you can simply allow that experience to flow through you and move through you in a faster way, and so that you don't disillusion yourself, so that you don't live there, because you don't want to live there in illusion. You want to live with mindfulness, and mindfulness does not mean that you do not experience these human things. Mindfulness means that you are willing to listen, you are willing to experience within the experience, and simply allow it to come forth to present a teaching, a wisdom, peace for you. So there is a lot of expanding and contracting and ebb and flow happening for all of you right now. And what is necessary is not to not feel the fear or the resistance or the so-called negative emotions, but it is for you to be able to monitor these things as they come up, and not 2 hours, 3 hours, 7 days down the road where you begin to collect that energy within your body. But being able to release as it comes forth, experience and release in a faster way, and noticing these aspects or these practices in your own life which help you to move through those things in a easier way. So maybe it is a nature walk, maybe it is your favorite music, maybe it is calling a friend on the phone, maybe it is watching a movie, maybe whatever it is for you, but being able to step in to that feeling that is uncomfortable, and then to be able to move through it in a way that does not diminish you, does not make you feel small, does not make you feel so fragile and so distant from yourself. That is how you can move through this time in a more gentle way with yourself and grow exponentially and feel more in alignment with yourself, your true self. So that is the update for this week. That is the update for how to get connected with yourself in a deeper way. There is great compassion for where you are and what you are moving with and moving through as a collective. But it shows courage. It shows a warrior's strength within each and every one of you. And you are all doing beautifully, and you are all doing well. And there's simply much gratitude for you, for all of you. The work that you are doing on this planet, the endurance that you hold within you, and the willingness to look within yourselves and to grow on a deeper level, to understand on a deeper level, to experience on a deeper level. So we love you all infinitely, and we look forward to this next presentation, this next lesson, this next energetic experience in which we are co-creating together. And so it is. Hi guys, I'm back. Thank you for joining. I'm out of it, as you can see, so I'm not going to keep talking. Thank you for coming in and being part of this, and I will see you next week. And please join me next week and bring your questions, bring your energy. I really appreciate all of you tuning in and all of you watching the recording on YouTube. So thank you, and I will see you very, very soon.